Coach, game 2 and 3 both seem to get away in the second half. Was this afternoon a product of the same issues that game 2 was?
I felt this game, our guys, they fought defensively. The sense of urgency was higher. But at the same time, the turnovers and just the lack of confidence in shooting the ball when we have open looks, that's difficult. It's been difficult for us to generate points.
Those live ball turnovers tonight, absolutely. Could you pinpoint a reason for so many of them?
They're a good defense for a reason. And to beat this team, we have to be really sound in our execution. And when we're not, and we're getting into the paint and trying to throw interior passes, they're really good. They're handsy. All of their guys, this is what they do. They've done it all season. And it's hurt us. Whenever we turn the ball over, they get out in transition. They had 21 fast break points. And it fuels their offense.
Realistically, in 36 hours, 2 days, what can you do to address confidence in shooting?
Just make sure our guys understand that the weight of the world is not on your shot. Like, you're open, shoot the ball. Guys been doing it all season. They put the work in. Be confident in it. Let's make sure we focus on our execution offensively. They're a tough team. Give them credit. They came in and as tough as we tried to play them defensively, it got away from us with the turnovers and the lack of our ability to knock down shots.
You guys got it to 40-39 in the second quarter. I think they went on a 14-0 run. What did you see during that stretch? How important was that, in the overall flow of the game?
Yeah, our margin for error is small, and they hit a couple tough shots during that stretch. I know we took a couple tough shots at the same time, and they got on a run from there. And so those are the moments where when you feel that, we have to come down and get organized and get into a set.
And just how frustrating was it to see the turnovers in the third quarter when you maybe could have cut into it a little bit?
It was tough. I think we started the third quarter with like 4 straight turnovers, and that's all we talked about in terms of our game plan discipline. And look, our guys are going out there, they're trying, they're fighting, but that's an area that we can't, kill ourselves with the turnovers, and we did that tonight.
Yeah, I know we talked a lot about B.I. struggles this series, but another tough one for CJ tonight, too. Just what are you seeing with him, especially with him turning the ball over the way he did tonight?
Yeah, not his best game, but, it wasn't because of his effort. CJ has been going out all season long, playing, really high-level basketball. This team is tough. They got, big defenders on our guys. They got Holmgren down there. When you do break the paint and get into the lane, he's down there. And, he's altering shots or blocking shots. And so we just have to understand this is what they do. They protect the paint. They allow you to kick the ball out to the perimeter. And when you do that over and over again, you can score. But if not, it plays right into their hands.
Yeah, and there's been 3 straight games where you guys, are low scoring, way lower scoring than we used to seeing throughout the season. What do you think just the big picture issue is on offense right now where y'all are struggling so much to execute in half court?
Well, when you have, one of your best players out, your margin for error shrinks. And when your margin for error shrinks against one of the better teams, every bit of execution matters. The turnovers, the way we set screens, the shot taking that we have, and collectively, game 1 was a little bit better. Game 2 got away from us. Game 3, I felt like our defensive energy and effort was there, but offensively, we just didn't capitalize on our opportunities.
In the second half, you decided to go Larry at center, went away from JV. That didn't really help matters as much, but I think just what do you wanted to see with that smaller unit in the second half, and why do you think it didn't work out the way you hoped?
Yeah, just trying to generate more offense, to your point. See if we can get some stops. We had some quality looks. We missed them, and they made theirs. And that's been the difference in the game. They've made their quality shots and tough shots, and we've either missed ours or we've turned the ball over.
And Willie, when you did go small in the second half, I think when Larry did take his first rest, I think B.I. was on Shet. Did you see anything you liked from the small ball lineups in that second half that gives you some hope for the fourth game?
Yeah, we do. We feel like Holmgren he's more of like a wing player, and just putting some of our bigger wing defenders on him, Williams and Gilgeous-Alexander, and then switching those screens. The first couple games, Holmgren is popping. he's getting open threes or he's playing the second side, and we were in rotations. This kept us out of rotations tonight.
Hey, Willie, no team's ever come back from 3-0 deficit. What's kind of your message to the team after
It's
this
not
game?
over. It's not over. Look, we got another game here at home, and we're not going to fix all of our issues tonight. Go home, have a good meal, and we'll come back tomorrow and practice and go over what we need to and get ready for the next game.
Coach, you've only won one quarter against the Thunder in this series. Kind of what needs to happen on a play-by-play basis to kind of string together some better possessions for you down the stretch?
Capitalize on our stops, take care of the ball, and when we have great quality looks, shoot it with confidence. Simple.
None of this is on one player, obviously, but Brandon really shined in this playoff stage 2 years ago. What are you seeing that's just different about the matchup against the Thunder than the Suns?
They're the number one one of the top defensive teams in the league for a reason, and all their guys are switchable. It kind of stagnates your offense at times, so we just have to play faster, be more mindful about taking care of the basketball. It was good to see BI get going a little bit more tonight and or today rather, and we'll just continue to try to build on that.
Knowing that you made that shift in the second half, you think that's going to be a solution going into game 4, just having to play smaller, more often try to space the floor out a little bit more for BI and CJ?
We'll see. Right now, our mentality is that we have to be willing to take a chance and try some things that maybe we haven't before to see if it can spark us. Okay, thank you.
You guys had 92 each the first two games, 85 tonight. Just, when you look at these three games as a whole, what is making it difficult to score the ball as a team?
I mean, first off, they're a pretty good defensive team, and they've limited our three-point shots a lot. And we got up 32 today. Our goal is normally 40, and out of those 32, we didn't hit many of them. So I think that contributes to it.
Third quarter, I think you guys, had 8 turnovers in the quarter. Just, how, I guess, frustrating was that to have the quarter you had when you had a chance to cut into the lead there?
Yeah, no, it's tough. That's something they do is they force turnovers. That's something we, game plan for, but we just didn't execute, taking care of the ball at a high level.
And that's been the issue the last 2 games, was the turnovers. Have you seen something just common between these 2 games why the turnovers have been much higher than usual?
We have to look at the film again just to put a finger on it. Try to come back game 4 and figure that out, get a win.
I guess what's the key coming back game 4, just not, feeling like, but still feeling like there's something to fight for, coming in with the type of belief you need to win that game?
Still have a game. That's, at the end of the day, you still have a game, so you got to try and win. That's really all it is.
And I guess what's been the talks like with B.I., 3 straight games for him where he's really struggling to really get himself going. What are y'all just trying to tell him just to get him back where he needs to be?
Just continue to stay in the game. It's a long series, and also, it's a really good defensive team, and you just got to find different ways to attack them and break down their defense.
And Trey, not once during the regular season did you guys have 3 straight games where you shot under 30% from 3. If I would have told you that would have happened in the first 3 games of the playoffs, how surprised would you have been?
Oh, a little surprised for sure. I mean, under 30 is never good, but also, shots are a little more difficult in the playoffs. Teams game plan to make sure that the people that they want to shoot the ball, and people that they don't want to shoot the ball, not shoot the ball. So I think for us it's just, continue to create and try to create good shots.
And how do you get that confidence, right? Because no matter how confident you are as a person, it has to, somehow affect you when you see that happen 3 straight games. How can you guys come together, as a team? Does it take having, a couple shots go in? What does it take for that to flip the script?
I think a problem with a lot of the basketball community is that people are so results-based on their confidence and not just based off of their work ethic. Like, I don't care if I miss 10 in a row. Like, I know in the back of my head I've had games where I missed a lot, came back and hit 5 straight. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. And I know for my teammates, we just got to continue to shoot the ball. We were number 1 corner 3-point shooting team in the entire league last year, middle of this year. So, it's not a fluke for a reason. Like, we just got to shoot the ball and just put the ball in the basket.
In the second quarter, y'all had made it a 1-point game. Then they went on a 14-0 run. What were they able to do to close the second quarter strong?
I'm sure us turning the ball over didn't help. And then, they were just moving the ball really well. We had to have some defensive breakdowns. They were making shots and capitalizing off of our mistakes. So I think that's just what happened.
A few times you guys went and checked at the rim and field looked like you might have hit somebody in the arm, field you got a block, but I guess. Do you think those situations kind of resulted in some hesitancy from guys going to the rim, seeing that he was able to get those plays at the rim?
Potentially. I mean, he's a good shot blocker, and just gotta make good rim decisions. For me, still trying to attack, also find passes to the guys with when he's stepping up, find passes to the big, or figuring out ways to finish around him. But he's a good shot blocker, and I'm not gonna comment on officiating or if it was a foul or not.
Thanks, Trey.
Thank you.
guys had 92 the first two games, 85 tonight. Just what are you seeing, why it's just difficult to score the ball for the Pelicans, you guys as a team right now?
Getting some open looks. Just haven't knocked them down yet. You know, it's demoralizing sometimes when we're not getting stops. Usually we feed off our defense and we come down on the offensive end and we take great shots. We've been having open shots, but you know, we just got to find a rhythm.
You guys got it down to 1 late in the second quarter there, and I think they went on a 14-0 run that really opened things up for them. Just, you know, what you see during that stretch of the game.
Second quarter?
Yeah, in the second quarter.
Just them pushing the pace. They knocked a couple threes down, starting with Shays. And, you know, Dort knocked a couple key three-pointers down. He's been shooting the ball well from three. And they just continue to push the pace.
You've been on this playoff stage before. I mean, how would you, I guess, compare or contrast like the defense the Suns threw at you guys 2 years ago versus what the Thunder are doing now?
It's a little different. It's a little, you know, sometimes the game is 4-on-4. Sometimes when Lou Dort is having pressure, me crossing the half-court line, he's probably attached to my body every single time. So it's been some 4-on-4. I think the physicality is about the same for one side of the basketball for sure. But you know, it's pretty similar.
In that Phoenix series, it was just a big moment for you individually, just what you were able to do. I guess how tough has it been just not being able to tap back into that during this series and kind of have those same type of performances?
I mean, it's tough. It's tough, especially when you expect so much more out of yourself. But, you know, OKC, they've been game planning, trying to take me off the basketball, trying to make me play off the basketball, being physical, sending different bodies at me, and you know, just gotta figure it out. You know, it's not going to be easy, but continue to keep going and try to figure out ways to be effective, not only scoring the basketball, but getting guys in rhythm.
And what have you seen these last two games that's, you know, resulted in so many of the turnovers piled up the way they have?
Defensive team just being together. Just being together when somebody gets beat, they have somebody to cover up for them. They got a good rim protector in check. And other guys that can slide their feet, they keep their worst defenders on the back line. And some of their best defenders where most of our offense is. So they game plan on that.
And, you know, as these kind of slow offensive performances have kind of stacked up, do you think confidence has become an issue, just guys not just playing with the same rhythm, same confidence that you guys were during the regular season?
Sure. Of course, it'll be a different swagger when you're getting stops and you're running back down on the other end. But this one, you know, this the next game is important, and if we don't win this one, we're out. So we don't have anything to lose. We got to go out here and just give it our all and continue to push from there. Maybe we find a rhythm in this next game and we can build off that. And if confidence is low, we can get our confidence back and just do what we've been trying to do all season.
And B.I. Willie looked like he wanted to see if go the small ball route a little bit more in that second half, and then you found yourself matched up against Shet. How do you feel you did against Shet, and of course how the team did with that small ball lineup once Larry went out?
I thought we did okay. I thought I was able to, you know, stop some of his drives, driving to the lane, rebound a little bit with him out there. He spaced the floor a little bit, but they got a lot of guys that can do a lot of stuff on the floor. The whole starting five can shoot the basketball from the three. They can cut, they can pass, and you know, it wasn't just about Chet. It's our whole defense. We gotta magnify everybody on the floor and what they do well, and just try to take it away.
And B.I., would you say that, have you felt the same since coming back from injury? Like your conditioning level, your rhythm, do you feel like you've hit that same level you were before your injury at all since you've come back?
Oh, I felt like I've had spurts where I feel good, but not completely. Of course, I'm not happy with none of my performances from the playoffs. So I don't think I'm myself completely, but I continue to push forward and try to find mine. But also, I can't just worry about myself. I got to worry about my teammates and putting the ball on the money, making sure that they're in rhythm. And, if they're in rhythm, then I'm sure they'll find me in rhythm too.
Yeah, Trey came in here and said a lot of times people view basketball as only results and not really the work that's put in. Is there anything that you or the teammates think you can pull from the first 3 games that may give you a little confidence heading into Game 4?
Yeah, I think we can all look at our mistakes, and we can all, when we, I think as players, when we all struggle with confidence, we go look at our highlights. We go look at different things that we do well and just try to go do it the next game. I think from this point, I think we go look at our defense, including myself individually, individual defense, and how we can help each other on the defensive end, and then get out on the offensive end, and then we can talk about offense. But us individually and as a team, we gotta step up and bring some of these numbers down.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, they were an elite defensive team all throughout the regular season. What have they just done these 3 games as a whole to make it difficult to score for you all?
Well, I think they sped us up tonight, forced a lot of turnovers. I had 6, way too many. I think we had 20 as a team. I think they're number 1 in forcing turnovers and getting points off turnovers. I think they did that tonight. Physical fight over screens, they switch a lot. Combination of those things make them a really good defensive team. Obviously, the size, the length, athleticism, and then ability to turn steals into points.
Yeah, I mean, how difficult is it to just have to go against their collective length where they can kind of switch everything and put a bunch of like-sized guys out there?
Yeah, they got a really good roster in terms of length, but then Chet being at the rim, a guy who can sit in the drop and kind of play cat and mouse, a really good rim protector, makes them a really good defensive team.
Yeah, and just I guess what is the mentality of the team, going into 4 and trying to prolong this series?
Yeah, just try to get one, execute and practice tomorrow, go over the game plan, figure out collectively how we can put together, 48 minutes, starting with me taking care of the ball, better possessions, quality looks. I think we've been getting, pretty good shots throughout the series. We just got to make them. Then I think the other part of it is finishing possessions with rebounds. They had some long misses that they turned into second chance and third chance opportunities. So I think that's a mentality. A series is not over. We got to go compete and show some pride and put up a fight on our home court.
Yeah, right before the end of the season, we saw you playing at such a high level during that West Coast trip, and you just haven't been able to tap into that during these first 3 games. I guess, what do you think has been the biggest difference during this series that's kind of prevented you from looking like that version of CJ?
I've just been missing shots, man, to be honest with you. I've had some quality looks. I have some tough looks as well throughout the series in terms of coverages, but just missing shots. We've been putting the work in, like we always do behind closed doors, understanding the game plan, understanding where I'm going to get my looks from, and I will continue to work on it. And I think it's a make or miss league, and when you miss it, it's difficult, especially in the playoffs. When your team needs you to score, it's hard for us to win games if I'm not efficient and I'm not being productive. So we'll get back in the lab and be ready for Game 4.
And what have you seen these last 2 games just with the turnovers and with them being as high as they've been?
I think we got the right intention, just not always making the right play. Some questionable passes in traffic. Those types of things where, the intention is there. We're trying to play fast. We're trying to, make plays for other people and not necessarily executing. But, credit them. They're a good defensive team. They force turnovers. They play passing lanes. They're active. They swarm well. And they forced a lot of turnovers tonight.
I talked about, just for spurts, he's felt like himself, coming back from the injury, he just hasn't been able to be the same guy he was previous. I guess how tough do you think that's been for him, just not being able to feel like himself and knowing how much pressure they're putting on him on the defensive end?
Yeah, he jumped back into playoff atmosphere, from the playing game, from the regular season game to the playing games to now, and it takes time for your body to adjust. It takes time for your mind to adjust, the speed, obviously the physicality, being the focal point of the scouting report. They fighting over screens, some traps, showing body, showing length. They have a really good game plan. They've been executing it well, so it's got to be difficult, but he's a pro. He works on his game, works on his body, works on his mind, and he'll be back in the lab and be ready to go in Game 4.
And CJ, was that one of the reasons why we saw you look ultra aggressive in that first quarter, trying to get the team going, trying to set the tone?
Yeah, I was just trying to get down here, and some of it was just opportunity. There were some open shots there. I got to catch and shoot three, nobody in the screen. I got a transition three, I missed in and out. I got a step back three where the guy got caught up on the pick and roll. When you're facing elimination, you got to be aggressive. What are you taking home? What are you gonna go out there and just hang out? You gotta be aggressive and be assertive and leave all your bullets out there and go home knowing you did all you could.
And Willie threw a little bit of a curveball in that second half by going small, no JV. Did you like anything you saw out there when I think BI was on Shet, for instance?
Yeah, when you down, double digits against a good team, you got to be able to make adjustments and be willing to make adjustments. And I think for us, it's just about kind of figuring out the right recipe to consistently, put together a full game.
In the second quarter, y'all got it to a 1-point game, 40-39. Then they went on a 14-0 run. What were they able to do to kind of push ahead during that run?
Honestly, I'll have to go back and watch the film. But I'm imagining they scored in transition. They hit some threes. Dort hit a couple threes. They put pressure on the rim. Took advantage of long misses. They got second chance opportunities. A little bit of everything. I would imagine was what happened in that second quarter.
Just how tough is it, so much of this year we talked about you guys being able to put that stuff behind y'all, having that time together, and then right before the playoffs, B gets hurt, playing games, C gets hurt, and it feels like we're back having the same conversations we had the first 2 years.
It's unfortunate, man, but we still got a job to do. We got to show up and be pros and figure out how to get better individually, figure out how to be better collectively. You can't control some of those things. You can't control injuries. You can't control timing of the injuries. That's just a part of the game. A lot of teams have faced injuries throughout the season that have been unfortunate if you look across the league, and it's the next man up mentality, and it is what it is. Some years you have really good health, some years you don't, and sometimes the timing's not ideal, but you got to figure it out collectively.
CJ, what's your message to some of the younger guys who never experienced being down 3-0 in the series?
I'll speak to everybody tomorrow, but I think it's just about collectively playing with pride. No team has ever come back, but you just got to take it one game at a time. You got to be, locked into what you want to accomplish. You got to play with energy. You got to play with enthusiasm, and at the end of the day, you have nothing to lose. It's not like we're the number one seed coming in with a down 0-3. You know what I'm saying? So I think for us, it's just about the approach. Be a pro. Make sure you leave it all out there on the floor.
Thank you, CJ.